Florida, Michigan should be a great one to start out 2017. We bring in David Waters to talk the Florida side. You can catch him on Gators Breakdown on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. David, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, Mark. Yeah, gearing up for this big game, of course. So, we'll see. Plenty of storylines for the Gators heading into this one.
Quarterback battles all over the country, David, and it seems like it's every couple days that we hear another program fall with its decision, another head coach committing to somebody. MarkRogersTV being the most recent there at Miami, but Jim McElwain holding out on us. So that could be good news in terms of it being a fierce battle between two very capable quarterbacks, or he could just have a very difficult time at this point deciding who it is.
Yeah, Mark, going into fall camp, it was kind of assumed that Malik Zaire, being the grad transfer and the most big game experience, would be the guy to lead the quarterback battle, but he's kind of fallen to the wayside and even third behind Felipe Franks and Luke Del Rio, believe it or not. Luke Del Rio is showing up in camp. He is the most consistent of the options right now. He's the guy who can get the team lined up correctly, and knows to go where the ball. From what we're hearing through Canton, we know he was supposed to be the safe option last year, but then ended up throwing more interceptions than he did touchdowns and forced some throws he even got away with at times. But if you're asking me, and the guy that I think should be the guy to take over right now is Felipe Franks. And what we're getting out of camp from him is he's high risk, high reward. You go get the big plays from Felipe Franks, but he's not. He has yet to play a big game. He's yet to play any game. He's a redshirt freshman. So, you are taking a risk with him going into this big game against Michigan that, he may not be ready just yet for that stature of a game, for that when the spotlight is on him, that he may not be ready. But I think it's a risk Jim McElwain needs to take. We need to see a quarterback that Jim McElwain recruited, him and Doug Nussmeier have groomed, and then can take over. So, to me, it seems to be a two-horse battle right now between Luke Del Rio and Felipe Franks. McElwain may decide to go with the experience in Luke Del Rio and just ease Felipe Franks in. I still think if he doesn't start, Felipe Franks still plays this game, and I still think Malik Zaire plays in this game. I don't think he'll start, but I think there will be packages for him, red zone options, wildcat formations, and not just wildcat. He will be a guy who can throw the ball out of those formations as well. So I don't think you'll be able to get a beat on what he's doing, but he's not consistent enough in camp, not knowing the playbook, doesn't have a rapport with the receivers. The timing is off, so I believe it leads it to a two-race battle between Franks and Del Rio. If it was me, I go Felipe Franks. I don't know what Jim McElwain to do. He'll probably go with the experience in Luke Del Rio, but it won't surprise me either way if he goes with. From what we're hearing through camp, it won't surprise me either way if he goes with Franks or Del Rio.
As you mentioned, David, folks down in your parts and even nationally just assumed that Malik Zaire would come in and be the guy and step in and gain the job, that there would be a competition, but that he would gain the job. And I mentioned down by your parts because you saw it just a couple of years ago with Everett Golson stepping out of the Notre Dame program because of some issues there off the field. And then he gained the Florida State job. He didn't set the world on fire, but he was consistent and led them to a decent season by Florida State standards. And Malik Zaire expected to do the same, but he did lose his job at Notre Dame as well. So it wasn't as like he was entrenched as the starting quarterback with the Fighting Irish.